Let's factorize 2x plus 6. In order to factorize this expression, we need to find something known as the highest common factor. And that's the biggest number or variable that goes into each term of the expression. In 2x and 6, the biggest number that goes into both is 2. Because 2x equals x times 2, and 6 equals 3 times 2. So because we can use the number 2 to multiply and get both of the terms in the expression, it's our highest common factor. And so the way we write our factorized expression is first, we put the highest common factor on the outside of the brackets, and then we divide each term of the expression by that same highest common factor, which leaves this as our expression. And then simplifying, we have the 2 outside the brackets. 2x divided by 2 is just x, plus 6 divided by 2, which is 3. And so this here is the factorized form of the original expression that we started with. And the way we can check to make sure we've done it correctly is by multiplying back and expanding our brackets. So we have 2 times x, which is 2x, and then 2 times 3, which is 6. And so as you can see, the expression from the start is the same as our expanded brackets, which means we have factorized correctly here. Let's try another example. 3x plus 12. So first we find what the highest common factor is. 3x is equal to x times 3, and 12 is equal to 4 times 3. So because the number 3 can be used in multiplying to get both of the terms in the expression, the number 3 is our highest common factor. And so the next step in writing the factorized form, we put the highest common factor outside the brackets and then divide each term inside the brackets by that same highest common factor. And so then simplifying, we get 3x divided by 3 is just x, plus 12 divided by 3, which is 4. And so this is the factorized form of that expression. And then once again, to confirm that we have factorized it correctly, we can multiply and expand the brackets to check that it's the same as the original. So 3 times x is 3x, and then 3 times 4 is 12. And so because expanding out we get the same answer as the original, this here is the correct factorized form. Now let's try 6x plus 9. The highest common factor of both 6x and 9 is 3, because 3 times 2 is 6, and 3 times 3 is 9. So we can rewrite this expression as the highest common factor 3 outside of the brackets, 6x divided by 3 plus 9 divided by 3. And so then simplifying, we have 3 outside of the brackets, 6x divided by 3 is 2x, so you just focus on the coefficients here, and then plus 9 divided by 3, which is 3. And so this here is our factorized form. Now for our next example, we have factorize 4x plus 8y. And we have 2 different variables, but that doesn't matter for factorizing. We just look at the numbers, at the coefficients next to the terms. So as we did previously, the highest common factor of both of these terms, of 4 and 8, is 4. 4 times 1 equals 4, and 4 times 2 equals 8. So because we can use the number 4 multiplied by another number to get both of the terms inside this expression, it's our highest common factor. And so then, rewriting the expression, 4 outside of the brackets, and then we divide each term by the highest common factor. We then have 4 outside of 4x divided by 4 is just x, plus 8y divided by 4. 8 divided by 4 is 2, so then we have just 2y. And that is the factorized form. And we can confirm that by multiplying and expanding out these brackets. So 4 times x is 4x, plus 4 times 2y, which is 8y. And so because this expression, the factorized form, is the same as the original, we can confirm that this here is the correct factorization. Now for our next example, we have x squared plus 5x. And so how would you factorize this one? Well, our highest common factor isn't so simple here, because we have 1x squared and 5x. And so 1 times 1 is 1, and 5 times 1 equals 5. But if we were to use 1 as our highest common factor, this expression would stay the same. So we can't do that here. Instead, the highest common factor for this question, we need to look at the variables. So while we can't divide the coefficients by any number to make them smaller, we can divide both terms in the expression by the variable x to simplify them. So x squared divided by x equals x by itself, and 5x divided by x just equals 5. And so our highest common factor for this expression is x. So rewriting it just exactly like we did before, we put the x outside the brackets, and then we have each of the terms from the original expression divided by the common factor. And so then, simplifying, we have x outside of the brackets, and then inside, x squared divided by x is just x by itself, plus 5x divided by x, which is just 5. And so this is how you would factorize an expression like this one here. Now we're going to use what we've learned earlier to do a more complicated question. Let's factorize 6x squared plus 9x. So to begin, as always, we're looking for the highest common factor that we can use to take and put outside the brackets when we factorize. But what you'll notice about this expression is that the highest common factor isn't just a variable by itself, and it's not just a number by itself. In this case, it's a combination of a variable and a coefficient. So 6x squared is also the same as 3x times 2x. And 9x is the same as 3x times 3. And so from that, we can identify that the term that we can use to multiply to get both of the terms in our expression is 3x. So it's not just 3 by itself, and it's not just x by itself. It's actually this term. So our highest common factor for this expression is actually 3x. And so then that's the hardest part done. Following the original steps, we put the highest common factor outside the brackets and then divide each term on the inside by the highest common factor. And so then if we simplify this expression, on the outside we have 3x, and then inside the brackets, 6x squared divided by 3x. So 6 divided by 3 is 2, and x squared divided by x is just x. And then plus x divided by x is 1, so they cancel each other out. And 9 divided by 3 is 3. And so then our factorized expression of this original is here. And for our final example, factorize 10x squared minus 15x. So first we're looking for the highest common factor. And like before, we can see that there is a variable that we can take out of both terms in the expression. And we can also see that the 10 and the minus 15 can both be divided by the number 5. And so then our highest common factor in this case is 5x, because 10x squared is equal to 5x times 2x, and minus 15x equals 5x times minus 3. So because over here we can see that 5x is used to make both of those terms, it is our highest common factor. So then rewriting this expression, on the outside of the brackets, we put the highest common factor. And then inside the brackets, each term divided by the highest common factor. So 10x squared divided by 5x minus 15x divided by 5x, which then equals 5x outside of the brackets. 10x squared divided by 5x is 10 divided by 5, which is 2. X squared divided by x is just x. And then minus 15 divided by 5 is 3, and x divided by x is 1, so we don't need to write anything else there. And so then this here is the answer and the factorized form of this expression here. And that covers factorizing by taking out a common factor.